Earlier this week, it was reported that a Navy fighter jet, was shot down in a friendly fire situation above the Red Sea. But what was not disclosed is actually there were two fighter jets involved in this situation. One was shot down, and the pilots, thankfully, ejected. They're safe and sound. One was a little bit injured. But what was not included in the press statement from U.S. Central Command is that there was another fighter jet that narrowly missed being shot down in this little debacle. Yes, I don't know whether to chalk this up to incompetency or, if it's one of those situations where humans just make mistakes sometimes. I really don't know. But all I do know is it is a little bit humiliating when you see your own military, supposedly the most elite military in the entire world, getting involved in this situation. It really, I don't like seeing it, okay? I don't even like talking about it, but I feel like we have to talk about it because there's been so much problems happening with our military that I believe we have to start talking about these problems before they get fixed, especially in the higher ranks, kind of like what Donald Trump said when he talks about some of these decisions that General Milley made and some of these wacky ideologies that are seeping into the military. It has kind of a butterfly effect. That's my opinion. Is this a direct effect of some of these, DEI policies? I don't know, but it definitely could be. That is definitely a possibility. But there was a second jet that was involved in this situation. And also there's an inconsistent statement from the U.S. Central Command that was talking about the first incident, the incident of the jet that was actually shot down, inconsistent with what one source reported to Fox News. Now, the first statement from U.S. Central Command that talked about this jet that was shot down said that a guided missile cruiser, this cruiser was named USS Gettysburg, accidentally fired upon and hit an FA-18 jet that was flying from the USS Harry S. Truman. But according to this Fox News source, they say this is not correct, actually. The FA-18 Super Hornet was in the process of landing on the Truman when it was shot down, having just completed a mid-air refueling mission for jets involved in airstrikes over Yemen. So one source, the U.S. Central Command is saying it was flying away, and then the source on the ground says, no, actually, it was coming in to land. So I don't know how they get that statement or the details so off. Me personally, I'm one of those types. I trust sources on the ground versus something that's coming from the top, because the top, they like to twist and mold and shape statements to a narrative, and a source, they have more direct knowledge of the truth. But this is what happened to this second Navy fighter that almost got shot down. Says on the same night, a U.S. Navy fighter jet was shot down over the Red Sea. A second jet nearly suffered the same fate. An FA-18 Super Hornet, which I believe looks like this, FA-18EF Super Hornet. I looked it up for you on Wikipedia. I don't know much about aircraft, but that looks like a serious aircraft. It looks very expensive. It looks like tens of millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars worth of aircraft fighting power right there. But this jet was flying a few miles behind the Hornet that was shot down, and was forced to take evasive maneuvers after a second surface-to-air missile was fired from the cruiser USS Gettysburg, narrowly missing the second jet by 100 feet while it prepared to land above the aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman. A source with knowledge of the incident tells Fox News. So this first jet most likely was taken by surprise. It sees this missile, and somehow they object out of the aircraft before it blows up. And the second jet has probably seen this. They're like, what the heck is going on? So they start doing these evasive maneuvers, and they're able to actually get away, which is very interesting. But a Navy official confirmed that a second SM-2 missile was fired from USS Gettysburg, adding that the Navy is investigating whether that missile was targeting the second jet. The Navy is also looking into whether the USS Gettysburg switched off the guidance system on the second missile. The near shoot down of a second U.S. Navy jet has not been previously reported, which is very interesting. But this is where it talks about this inconsistent statement here. The U.S. Central Command, that's responsible for these airstrikes in the Middle East, said in a statement about this friendly fire incident, quote, the guided missile cruiser USS Gettysburg, which is part of the USS Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group, mistakenly fired on and hit the FA-18, which was flying off the USS Harry S. Truman. Here's the Super Hornet right there. Looks like a pretty sweet jet. The source said, now this is the source on the ground, they said that the statement from U.S. Central Command is not, in fact, correct. They said the FA-18 Super Hornet was attempting to land aboard Truman when it was shot down after performing a midair refueling mission for jets carrying out airstrikes over Yemen. And then they say this, it was a tanker crew returning to land on the carrier about 10 miles out. They recognized the missile was guiding and punched out 3 seconds before the missile hit the jet. The pilot and the weapons systems officer ejected and were picked up by a rescue helicopter and returned to the carrier. One suffered minor injuries, according to a CENTCOM statement. Neither U.S. Central Command nor the Pentagon has disclosed a second fighter jet was fired upon by the cruiser and narrowly avoided getting shot down as well. Now, I wonder why that is. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that, if this happens to one jet, you could chalk it up to human error, right? Now, if it almost happens to another jet, that's when you start beginning to wonder, is this incompetence? How does this happen to two jets? I mean, the U.S. military, in my mind and a lot of people I know in their minds, is the most elite military in the entire world, is the most elite fighting force in the entire world. And they fire on one jet, they hit it on accident, and then they go in for the kill on a second jet. That's probably why they did not report it. But the source said the cruiser almost shot down 2 friendly jets. On the night of the friendly fire incident, U.S. Central Command said in a statement on X that its forces conducted precision airstrikes against a missile storage facility and a command and control facility operated by Iran-backed Houthis within Houthi-controlled territory in Yemen on December the 21st. There have not been any more strikes against the Houthis from Truman since the friendly fire incident. Navy pilots are angry about the incident and question the training on board the USS Gettysburg. The source says it's insufficient. Yeah, I wonder what kind of training they go through. And I wonder what the selection process is for some of these individuals in these positions, because we all know diversity is our strength, right? This is diversity in action. Okay, I really don't have any proof that this is diversity. Okay, guys, I'm just saying that when you see diversity and DEI being pushed in the military and you see stuff like this happening, it tends to raise some alarm bells. I'm not like a hammer calling everything a nail, but still, it's definitely a possibility because we've seen it pop up in multiple situations. But the friendly fire incident took place days after the Harry S. Truman Aircraft Carrier Strike Group arrived in the Red Sea. The December 21st strikes against the Houthis were the first for the strike group since arriving off the coast of Yemen. So there we have it, guys. We have some more information straight from Fox News, exclusive information, in fact, information that the military didn't initially share. I'm not really sure if they've even commented on this yet, but there were 2 jets that were involved in this friendly fire incident. And this is a video directly from the U.S. Central Command of a jet taken off of Harry S. Truman. Looks like a lot of fun, but I wouldn't want to be on one of those jets with a guided missile coming directly at me, especially if these missiles are being shot by diversity hires. That's just me. That's just my own personal opinion. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the military getting involved in these debacles? What do you think about the fact that it was not just one jet, it was actually 2 jets? One got shot down, one almost got shot down. Very interesting. And they were very tight-lipped about this. Came from an anonymous source. But let me know what you think about all this down below in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. Merry Christmas. I'll see you on the next one.